They said it was cursed, but no one knew by what. A place hidden within a valley of whispering trees, where maps ended and silence began. Travelers who stumbled upon it never remembered its name, only that it had none. And those who lived there, they called it the village with. The village with what? No one ever finished the sentence. It was just the village with. People came and went, but no one stayed unless the village chose them. Yes, the elders swore the village chose its own people. It kept them, like the vines wrapped around the broken gate at the entrance. The place clung to the heart of those who belonged. It was peaceful, yes, quiet, beautiful, and even, but also strange. The sun didn't rise the same way every morning. Sometimes it came up twice. Sometimes it didn't come up at all. Young Adaeze had lived there all her life, or at least as much of life as a 12-year-old could recall. She never thought the village odd. To her, the moving shadows in the well were just playful spirits. The crow that followed her to the stream and whispered her name, just her black feathered friend. The old man who never aged, Uncle Marco. Everything was normal until one morning the village stopped humming. The village always had a hum, a low, soothing sound that floated through the air like a lullaby. No one knew where it came from. It was just there, in the wind, in the trees, in the walls of the mud houses. That morning, Adaeze woke up and felt the silence in her bones. Something had changed. She ran outside and found the square empty. The bread seller was gone. Uncle Marco's bench was empty. The crow was nowhere in sight. Even the whispering trees were quiet. Only one thing moved, a mirror lying face up in the middle of the village square. Adaeze walked up to it, unsure if it has always been there or had just appeared. She stared into it. Her reflection blinked, but she didn't. She grasped and stumbled back. The mirror shimmered, then cracked. From the broken glass, a voice slipped out, soft but clear. The village with secrets is walking. Then everything changed. The ground trembled slightly. The vines near the gate quivered. The humming returned, but it was sharp, like the tune of an old fluted blown too hard. And slowly, the village began to appear again, stepping out of places Adaeze had never seen before. Doorways in trees, under stone, out of empty air. But something was wrong. Their eyes were blank, and none of them looked at her. The village has woken up, but not everything that woke up alive. Adaeze knew then the mirror was only the beginning. Adaeze stared at the cracked mirror, heart pounding in the chest like a talking drum. The voice that came from it echoed in her mind. The village with secrets is walking. She wanted to run, to hide, to scream, but her legs refused to move. The villagers kept walking, eyes wide but empty, as if something had stolen their thoughts. They passed her without a glance, drifting like ghosts across the square. One by one, they disappeared into houses she did not recognize, homes that hadn't existed that day before. Strange doors, strange windows, strange symbols carved into wood and stones. Adaeze's breath caught when she saw her own mother among them. Mama Nkem wore her usual wrapper and scarf, but her face was wrong, pale, cold. She moved past Adaeze like a stranger and stepped into the round hut with glowing symbols on the door. The hut had never been there before. Adaeze ran after her, but the door closed by itself, locking with a soft click. She banged on it. "Mama, Mama, please open." Silence. The humming sound grew louder. It was no longer gentle. It scratched at her eyes. From the corner of her eyes, the mirror flicked again. She turned back to it. The crack had widened. This time, the mirror didn't show her reflection. It showed the village, but not as it was now. It was brighter, livelier. Children ran through the square. Laughter echoed. The sun shone gently. A tall tree stood in the center, where the mirror now lay, and in its shadow stood a young girl who looked just like Adaeze. No, it wasn't her, but she was smiling in the mirror. Happy, and beside her was a boy, older, with kind eyes and a wooden staff. Adaeze had never seen him before. The image changed. Fire swept through the village. The same boy was screaming, trying to hold the girl's hands, but something dragged her away. A shadow. Something dark, large, and formless. The mirror cracked again. Adaeze stepped back, terrified. Suddenly, a hand touched her shoulder. She turned sharply, heart racing. It was the boy from the mirror. But he was here now, real, older than in the image, maybe 15 or 16. His eyes were serious. His skin looked dusty from travel. His clothes faded and torn. "You saw it, didn't you?" he asked. Adaeze nodded, confused and afraid. He looked around as if checking if they were being watched. "You are the last one the village didn't take. That means it's begun again. We don't have much time." "Begun what?" she asked in a shaky voice. He looked her in the eyes. "The village remembers you, but you don't remember it." Adaeze frowned. "I've lived here all my life." He shook his head. "No, not this life. The one before." Adaeze's news weakened. She grabbed the boy's arm. "Who are you?" "My name is Kachi. I am your brother, and we've been here before, when the village first lost its name." The wind howled through the square as if it was trying to speak. Adaeze stared at Kachi, her supposed brother, unsure if she should believe him or run away. "My brother?" she whispered. "But I don't remember you." "You are not supposed," he replied gently. "The village takes your memory when you return. Only the mirror remembers." Adaeze looked at the cracked glass lying still at the center of the square. The mirror had shown her strange things, visions, fire, shadow, her own smiling face. Was it all real? Kachi led her away from the square, past houses that didn't existed the day before. Some had no doors, others had doors that breathed, swelling in and out like lungs. The sky was a pale now, though it had been blue only minutes earlier. "This village doesn't follow time," Kachi said, as if reading her thoughts. "Yeah, a minute can be a year. A year can pass in a dream. It bends time around itself. It's why the villagers doesn't age. Why nothing stays the same." "Why would a village do that?" Adaeze asked. "Because it's not just a village," Kachi replied. "It's a trap. A prison, but it wasn't always.